everybody, welcome to another episode of Propel's Virtual Garage. I'm your host Russ Titonia, coming to you from the Service Center in Siesta Key, Florida. And today we're going to do part 2 of the bushings video, focusing specifically on the rear end and the light button and the wires that run from it. Because of that, I'm going to fast forward through some of the processes that we've already covered in other videos, specifically the last tutorial on how to install the bushing in the front. I'm going to take the deck off when you're not looking. I'll fast forward through the actual dropping of the suspension, and we'll get right to the wiring and that good part of it. So, yeah, let's get right into it. It's not that hard. It's going to look a little intimidating, but it's really not. Just take it step by step as I show you, and you'll see it's about a 20-minute job. It's really not that hard. It's quite simple. So let's get right into it, and I'll get some tools ready and change this camera angle, and I'll show you how to do this. Okay, now we have the deck off. I have the board strapped to my base. I've got a couple tires sitting under here to receive this rear end and keep the weight from pulling on the motor wires. And just like in the first video, real quick here, I'm just going to take that center bolt out and drop the suspension. The 4 and 6 millimeter, and fast forward. Here we go. Okay, so now the suspension is sitting on the tires. We have access to the bushing. Now we're going to take the top power button badge off. I should be working smarter, not harder, so I'm going to get my power tool. Again, saving my screws in my dish. Wrong tip. Okay, once I remove these first two, this bushing is going to come right out. Well, not right out because it has the wire in it, but it's loose now. So be aware of that. Take the other two out. Save those in there. And we can pull this whole badge right off. It's a little stiff at first, but move it around. Comes right out. There's another wedge gasket underneath there as well, okay, which can be removed. Get that right out of the way. And this is what we're left with. So next thing we do is we disconnect the power button from the ESC. Okay, so with my tweezers, we're pulling this one out. Okay, each one of these are your hall wires for each motor, and then we want to pull this 4-wire clip out. Okay, now the fun begins. Okay, so first thing you do with this clip is you take a picture of the order so you remember the color in which order they go in. Or if you want to write it down, red, black, yellow, white. Okay? Once you have that written down somewhere or you have a picture of it, get something really sharp. A needle works, a pin, these pliers, I mean these tweezers are awesome. But you're going to go in here and you're going to lift this little plastic tab up. Okay? So you just want to lift that up a bit. Once you get that up, you just pull the wire out. Oops, didn't lift it enough. So you lift it, pull the wire. Okay? Do each of them. Okay. See how this has a little solder head on it? Remember that like it goes in like a keyhole with that pointed down, okay? That's how you slide them back in nice and easily. I'm not sure if I'm putting that in the camera properly. Okay, see how it's like a little key? Well, you would put it in just like you would put a key into a keyhole, just like that. Boop. Okay. Okay, so now with your ends removed, you just want to pull everything through. You pull your wires. Just be careful of these tips. You want to make sure you don't break them off as you pull them through the little channel that's in here, okay? I'll give you another angle so you can see where they're coming through. Okay, here you can see the wires are coming through this little channel here. So we're just going to pull them through, nice and gentle, okay? And then pull them through the bushing. Okay, so one other thing we have to do before we can put the bushing in is the new bushings don't come with a hole in it, so we have to drill the hole for those wires to go through. This is I believe, a 3/8 drill bit, or a number 6 you can use if you have metric. And you want to go right here, right in the groove, center. And I'm going to do 2 holes, and then I'll connect them, just to make it more oval, like the groove that they're going into. So we'll just drill those out. One hole. Do the second one. Oops. No need to go fast. You don't want to make a mistake and come through too shallow or whatever, so take your time with it. Okay. Then once you have your 2 holes, you just connect them. Okay. I like to take a little pair of pliers and just clean that hole out. Make it nice and a little neater so it doesn't catch on those little teeth on the nubs. Okay. And we're good to go. Okay. Now, take a new bushing, the new replacement bushing, and we're going to do the same thing in reverse. Okay. So, see our wire button comes down through there, and they come through the front. Feed your wires through, and then feed them back up into, whoops, that little channel. Right up in there. Okay, and then just push them forward, and they come right out on the inside of the box. Reach over and grab them, and then go change the camera angle. One sec. All we have to do now is put our little plastic clip back on. So, again, it's the same thing in reverse. I'll get up closer. We're going to do the same thing we did in reverse, okay? So just give each tab a little lift before you put it in. And give it a little lift. The tooth down. And in she goes. Make sure it's in all the way. And then give it a little press down. That kind of locks that tooth in there, okay? Red, black, yellow, white. All the way in. Give it a push. Next is yellow. All the way in. Give it a push. And white. All the way in. Give it a push. Now like to go back over them all and give them one more little push down, and we're good to go. Okay, so now we have our clip all complete, back together. We'll plug that back in, okay? Oops, right back into the port it goes into, and there we go. Next thing we do is get that rubber bushing back, that gasket bushing. You see it has a little notch in the front. You want your wires to sit right in there, okay? You want your wires to sit right in that little notch. So when you lift up the back and you see your wires, you put them right in that little notch first, and then sit the whole thing down into the hole. Okay? There you go. Make sure your wires are in the notch. Tuck everything down. Put that back in. Grab the screws to secure that bushing. Okay, so you reach underneath. Remember, these bottom two are the ones that hold that bushing in place. They start really easily. They line up very nicely. Okay, get that first one going. And we'll get the second one going. And the third, and the fourth. Again, I like to get these started by hand. Just make sure you've got it right. And then send them home. Okay. Okay, so now all we have to do is put the suspension back up. Then we hook our battery back up. Make sure she powers up. Turn the remote on. Good to go. Okay, so now I'll put the deck back on, and that's it. We're done. Okay, everybody, so I got my deck back on, and that pretty much sums up this tutorial. The main difference with this one and the first bushing is the first bushing we showed you how to do the front. In this video, we're showing you how to do the back, which has a couple more steps. Mainly, you have to support the suspension so you don't pull on the motor wires. You have to drill a hole for the bushing, and you have to take the clip off the power button wires. Three easy things, but that's what makes it different from the front. So I hope this video helps clarify that, and I apologize for not doing the rear in the same video. We just wanted to get that out to you as soon as possible and show people how to drop the suspension and whatnot. But either way, this makes it a little more comprehensive. We'll still be doing a video about how to tune and how to really play with and understand the suspension better. But for right now, we needed to get this out, and well, here you go. So any questions, fire below. Happy to get you sorted out. And until we see you next time, ride hard, ride safe, and ride Propel.